Hey, welcome back. This is Jason Walter, and in today's video, it's a very important one. This is the stimulus check and how that all works out. This is part of the $2 trillion stimulus plan that was just passed and just was approved just a few days ago. So I want to make this video today for you. Today it's Sunday morning. I want to get this video out to you as soon as possible, and so I'm going to try to do as few edits as possible so I can get this video out to you in a timely manner. So I apologize in advance if I make any mistakes, because I know I will. So anyways, I wanted to just discuss what we're going to be going over today here, and that is, how do they determine your eligibility to get this stimulus check? What tax year are they going to be using? How much money are you going to receive? Do you have to pay any taxes on this money? And then lastly, how are you going to actually receive this money? Or is it going to be a check, or are you going to get a wire? Stay at the end of this video too, because I'm going to show you the fastest way to get this stimulus check as well. So number one would be eligibility. Went onto the IRS's website. They have no guidance right now for how you're going to be receiving this check. But for eligibility, there's no sign up needed, and that's actually stated on the IRS website. It's basically based on your AGI, or your adjusted gross income. If you're not familiar with that term, go to your tax return that you last filed and look at your Form 1040. And then on line 8B, that's your adjusted gross income, your AGI. So it's based on your income is how they determine your eligibility for this check. Okay, so for AGI, or adjusted gross income, of $75,000 or less, as a single filer, you're going to get the full rebate amount, and that's $1,200 if you're single and $2,400 if you're married filing jointly. But anyways, if you're single, you're going to see the full rebate amount, which is $1,200 if your AGI is $75,000 or less. If you're married filing jointly, then if your AGI is $150,000 or less, you're going to receive the full rebate amount. It's also important to note too, you do not have to have any taxable income in order to qualify for this stimulus check. All right, you won't receive any money if you're single and you make $99,000 or more, or if you're married filing jointly, then $198,000 or more, you will not receive any check. But you will receive a partial payment if you're single and you made $75,000 to $99,000. Or if you're married filing jointly, you'll receive a partial payment for $150,000 to $198,000. So in order to qualify, they're going to be looking at your 2019 taxes if you had filed them already. So if you haven't filed your 2019 taxes yet, they're going to be looking at your 2018 taxes. So let me give you an example here. So what if you made a ton of money in 2018 that is beyond the threshold that you would not qualify for this stimulus check? But you're going to be making far less in 2019, but you haven't filed your taxes yet for 2019. So you may want to file your 2019 taxes as soon as possible. If now you qualify based on your lower income in 2019, whereas you wouldn't qualify in 2018. So again, file your taxes in 2019 if now you're going to be able to qualify for this check. So in this example, if you're not able to file your tax returns for 2019 in time to get the stimulus check, then you do have options. The stimulus checks is not going to just disappear for you. When you'll receive the benefit of this credit on your 2020 tax return when you file that in early 2021. So you'll get that benefit in the form of a credit on your 2020 taxes if you are too late to file your 2019 taxes, if you normally would have qualified for 2019 but not 2018. So I hope that makes sense. So that's not good. Obviously, you don't want to wait a year to get your stimulus check. So if you can, try to do your taxes as soon as possible for 2019, if right now you'd not qualify for 2018. So let me give you an example too, if it's the opposite. So what happens if you're making more money in 2019, but you do qualify based on your 2018 income? And this is really important, because if you were to not do your 2019 taxes right now, then the IRS is going to say, oh, it looks like you actually qualify based on your 2018 numbers. We don't know what your 2019 numbers are. We don't know that you actually disqualify for this check because you make too much money now in 2019. So what happens in that scenario? You may have to pay this back when you file your 2020 tax returns in early 2021. So if you receive this check when you normally would be disqualified for, you may have to pay that back when you do your 2020 tax returns. There hasn't been clear guidance on this, but that's what people are saying that probably is going to happen. So let's talk about how much money are you actually going to get. I kind of touched on this earlier, and I'll leave a link below. There's a great calculator on CNBC where you can plug in your income, and it'll tell you approximately what your stimulus check is going to be. So I'll leave a link in the description below for that. So again, single filers are going to get $1,200, and married filing jointly, for those who qualify, is $2,400. They also are going to be giving you $500 per qualifying child, and that is for any child. Obviously, that's a dependent of yours, but there's some qualifications involved in that. But if you have a kid in 2020, you're not going to be getting your $500 check for that child. You will get that credit when you file your 2020 taxes in early 2021. So I hope that makes sense. So another question, a lot of people are asking about this. Do I have to pay taxes on this money that I'm going to be receiving? And the answer is no. And this is because it's basically considered a 2020 tax rebate, and it's not taxable income. If you owe, even if you owe IRS taxes right now, they are also saying that you will still receive this check, which is actually pretty remarkable. If you owe the IRS taxes, they're still going to be giving you this check. So obviously times are rough, I guess. All right, so how are they going to be sending you the money? They're saying that people are going to be receiving this money in April, so approximately 3 weeks from this video. We'll see about that. Last time they did this in 2008, I believe it was. It took a few months, or a couple of months. So hopefully it'll be a few weeks. That'll be great. So how will they be sending this money? This is based on how you received your tax refund from your last time you filed your taxes. So if you filed your 2019 taxes and you had your refund, had a direct deposit for that sent to you, then you're going to receive this stimulus money in the form of a direct deposit, as long as the IRS has your bank account information. So if your bank account has changed, this is super important. If you do no longer have that bank account, contact the IRS immediately, because what's going to happen is they're going to wire your funds to your bank account that you no longer have. It's going to bounce back, and they're going to have to send you a check in the snail mail, and it's going to take weeks, hopefully not months, but it's going to take a long time and delay the process of getting your check. So if your bank account has changed, definitely contact the IRS and have that taken care of. And I have a telephone number for you too. The IRS general contact information for assistance is 1-800-829-1040. That's the IRS telephone number. You can Google it and verify that if you want. So anyway, so if your bank account's changed, definitely take care of that. So what happens if you do not have a bank account linked to the IRS? Let's just say that you received a hard copy check in the mail last year, then you're going to get another one this year through the stimulus check. Just realize that if you're going to be getting a hard copy check in the mail, it's probably going to take some time to get that, versus someone who has a direct deposit or a bank account linked to their taxes on the IRS. So just keep that in mind. So what happens if you move? If you do not have a bank account listed with the IRS, they're going to be mailing you a check, like I mentioned, but they're going to mail it to the check that was they're going to mail you your check on the address that's on your tax returns that you last filed. So if you moved and that address no longer applies, you want to contact the IRS immediately to get your address changed, or, well, I should say, you should also have a mail forwarding address to your previous address. So hopefully all your mail is being forwarded to your current address. You also can go onto the IRS's website. They have a Form 882, and that is for a change of address if you want to change your address if you moved. So I'll leave a link in the description below for that form as well. That's Form 882. It's an IRS form. So everyone's wondering, what's the fastest way I can get my check? and these funds, which hopefully will be mailed out or sent via wire in a few weeks. But the fastest way is there's basically two ways, and that is file your 2019 taxes, or you have already filed your 2019 taxes, and also you have your bank account information set up at the IRS. So that way that you already have your taxes filed, and the government can just wire the funds for the stimulus money directly into your account. These people are going to be moving into the front of the line and are going to get their stimulus check the fastest. Like I mentioned before too, the IRS does not have any guidance about this stimulus plan yet. I'll leave a link in the description below though for the website you can go to for updates when they become available. And also obviously reach out to your CPA and ask him or her for further developments. I'm not a tax advisor, so this video is not tax advice. Hire a professional if you don't already have a CPA. On a side note too, the deadline to file and pay your federal income taxes for 2019, if you haven't filed yet, that has actually been extended to July 15th, 2020. So they give you a few months, and that was actually just announced a few weeks ago, or last week, I should say. As a bonus for watching this video, if you're still watching this video so far, I want to go over just briefly a program that they announced too, a part of this $2 trillion stimulus plan, and that is a $10,000 forgivable loan program as part of this package. And that is right, a forgivable loan, so basically it's free money. And this is on a first come, first served basis, and it's basically free money, up to $10,000 through this program. And this is through the SBA, or the Small Business Administration, and is called the SBA Economic Injury Emergency Grant Program. So go take a look at that online. It's basically for sole proprietors and small business owners that are being affected by this issue that's going on in the world right now. So the problem with this, there's a fund for this that's $10 billion big. Sounds like a giant number, right? But there's actually 45 million people who are either small business owners or sole proprietors in the United States. So if you take $10 million and assume everyone gets $10,000, that means there's only 1 million grants available for those 45 million people. So it's on a first come, first basis. I'll leave a link in the description below for that program if you qualify. I hope you got a lot of value out of this video. If you did, please hit the like button to help support this channel. You also can follow me on Instagram. I'm Sacramento Realtor. I hope you have an awesome day and look forward to seeing you on the next video.